Hey everyone, nerdygymbros here. This is our update to our Red Dead Redemption 2 video, and it's also a debate about is there too much realism now, and will it take away the fun? So Ty, since you were the one worried about this.
Yeah, I mean, I voiced my concern when we did our original video where we talked about the saddlebags and all that kind of stuff because they were showing that, but I mean, I went to look up news on Red Dead 2 and the first like 10 articles I find are horse testicles shrinkage physics, which...
So tell me about the horse testicles shrinkage.
Apparently they have like the realism to it is to the point that when it's winter, horse testicles will shrink in response to the weather when it's obviously a male horse.
And in all honesty, I mean,
that's just...
I think that's I think that's funny. I mean, that's Rockstar humor to me, but
at the same time...
Wait, hold on. Somebody had to design and animate that. Somebody at Rockstar spent the last 6 months, or 6 to 8 months, designing testicles.
Yeah. I mean, it's an attention to detail thing, but...
And that's the point of it, what I was getting at. Like, that's a pretty... Even though it's kind of ridiculous, it's a pretty cool, over-the-top attention to detail, so I approve.
Other things that I saw were that your horse is fully customizable. I mean, you can cut its mane, you can braid its tail, you can...
basically do all the things you can to a real horse.
Yeah, basically. I don't know if you can change, like, what its actual colors are, or
I'm
just how you find it in the wild. That's
what I was about to say. I'm assuming that's the case, like, when you find... Whatever you... Like, if you find a... I don't know what type of horses are in the game, but let's say you find a paint... maybe it'll be that, obviously it'll be that color, or maybe if you find, I doubt there'll be any Frisians in it, but for, like, if there is, I don't know, but the case is, but the case I'm trying to make is, if you find a paint, you'll probably have a paint, and if you find a Frisian, you'll probably have a Frisian. I don't think, to me, I don't think you'll be able to sit there and, here,
let me dye your hair.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll be able to do that either.
I think it'll just be how you find it in the wild.
Yeah, but I mean, I like the ability that you can customize. Like,
I love the fact that you can braid its tail and mess around with its mane.
And yeah, you can create a bond that where if you're grooming it and all that kind of stuff, you're gonna have a better bond to be able to do more stuff with your horse.
I wonder if it'll like rub its head against you.
It's possible.
I think that'll be
wonderful. The fact that they've made the testicle physics, I can't really doubt anything anymore with what they're going to be doing with it. But I assume that if you beat your horse, it's probably going to have a pretty bad attitude with you.
Is that an option?
I have no idea. I'm just saying that they said there's the positivity side of it. I mean, in Red Dead 1 you could be a good guy and you could be an asshole, so I assume that you can probably be an asshole to your horse as well. Or ride it too hard, or...
Yeah.
But...
your horse.
With all the other stuff, like, I mean, there's a beard system, which to me is...
Actually, I think that's pretty cool.
Where it grows and you can shave it and all that, which reminds me of Witcher 3, so... And then, what was the other thing? And then I thought was interesting. Oh, there's also all the conversation stuff, which I found out is L2 on PlayStation, which probably means it's left trigger.
Probably left bumper on...
Left trigger, probably. L2 is the back one.
I know, which is why I'm saying it's probably...
left trigger.
Yeah, alright. No, because...
Where you target... Okay, so that your target... What I heard, I think it was from Brian McCaffrey and IGN, is that when you click left L2, because they were talking about PlayStation, it would lock you onto the person that you're trying to talk to
so
when you don't have your comment.
Alright.
That's my assumption. It's going to be left trigger, but a lot of the conversation stuff that I heard about from that and from all the other articles that I was skimming through was the interaction. You can interact with like every NPC that's in the game,
which I think is a feat in itself.
Yeah.
Which is a feat to me in itself.
And one of the things I remember reading was that I can't remember his name, but I lost it. I don't remember his name, but it was something on Twitter. Some guy that was talking about his hands-on experience where he ended up running some dude who was hunting a coyote, or you didn't know he was hunting. He didn't know he was hunting a coyote, but all of a sudden the guy told him to go away. He goes away. He hears a gunshot. He goes back, and finds that guy killed a coyote and actually ends up having a peaceful conversation. You see him skin him and put all the stuff onto his horse and ride off. and it wasn't a mission, it wasn't a side quest, it wasn't anything, it was just something that the person ran into. And what I've read is that it seems that Red Dead, or Rockstar, but Red Dead 2 is kind of blurring what is a mission in a way, like rather than just scripted moments of here's a
basically here's your marker.
Like in Grand Theft Auto 5 or in Red Dead 1, for instance, the mystery man from Red Dead, who was probably someone that John Marston ended up killing, but.
And I truly believe you'll probably see what happens to that guy in this one.
I wouldn't doubt it. But, like, where they mark where that person is, it's not like that from what I've read, is that you literally can just run into things happening, and they're not a mission, they're not a side quest, or nothing, it's just something that happens in the game.
It seems to me, based on what you're saying, is they're trying to make the world seem more alive, instead of just being like strategically placed markers or whatever. It seems like they're trying to make it seem more depth, more draws you in.
Yeah, and I think that's a really cool thing, but my biggest worry with it is that how much realism is too much realism, I mean, yes, the attention to detail is probably going to be astounding, but how much of that detail is going to get in the way of fun, because that's the line that they have to cross is, okay, we can make this really real, but how much of the fun is it going to take away from it? Because, like, in our original video, I was talking about, because we were talking about the saddlebag, because we saw the one trailer, like, him going through saddlebags and doing all that stuff. It's like, are we gonna, if we put our guns in the saddlebags and also we get into a shoot, like our bigger guns, when we suddenly get into a shootout, are we gonna have to, dismount a horse and, fuck around with our saddlebags just to get our guns out to, fight the person? It's like, to me, I'm not saying that Red Dead 2 isn't going to be fun and that the realism, that Rockstar isn't capable of making the realism flow really well into it all. I think that they're probably going to. It's just right now, because obviously we've not had hands-on with it, no one's played it except specific people, and they all say that it's really good and everything, and I don't doubt that. It's just, I wonder, it's like, how much of the realism is going to get in the way of fun, or is the realism going to get into the way of fun? Because you can have all these attentions to detail, not even the testicle thing, just different things within the world that makes it more real and feel more alive and everything, but at what point does putting all that stuff into it take away from the fun,
No, I get what you're saying.
And that's just my worry with it. It's like, because I want it to be.
Well, the whole reason why we're making this video is because you're worried.
Yeah,
I'm completely like, oh wow, that's really cool. I'm really looking forward to it. And you're like, that's a lot of realism. Is it going to take away from the fun of the game?
Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, maybe it won't. Maybe it's really going to make the game feel alive, and it's going to be the game of the year, or however many. Maybe it's going to be on the Witcher 3 level of Game of the Year awards and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know. It's just, I loved Red Dead Redemption. I thought it was I think it's one of my favorite games ever. I liked it. I liked it a lot more than I ever liked Grand Theft Auto 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, Grand Theft Auto 5 was fine. I mean, it was fun, but it looked really good and everything. It's just,
you could have cared less for Michael and Trevor.
I couldn't care less for all.
I know you didn't. Your problem was that you didn't give a shit about Michael's kids.
Yeah.
Trevor was a psychopath, and Franklin complained too much.
Basically, I mean, Franklin was the only one that I found tolerable because he was trying to get out of the bullshit.
Trying to make himself.
Yeah, he was trying to become more than what he was. But I mean, then he had his fucking faults too, like him constantly going back to the same chick who was clearly fucking over him. It's like, dude, move the fuck on.
Yeah.
And it took him till the end of the game to finally do that, probably depending on your choices of what ending you choose. But because I liked Red Dead 1 so much, I want Red Dead Redemption 2 to be really good, but that's the whole catch-22 of sequels, of how, like, you look at any series that had, whether it was a trilogy first in video games or movies, or it was just the first movie and then it had a second movie come out, or a video game or anything like that. And the first one, it captures so much motion and emotion, and it makes you love it, nostalgia, and it makes you love it so much that when it takes a while for the sequel to come out, or maybe it doesn't, but whatever, a sequel comes out, that you're hanging on to that first time that you ever experienced whatever thing that it was. So then it's like, if the second one doesn't live up to the expectations, all of a sudden it's not, it's, because you're never going to capture that first feeling of playing Red Dead 1. And Red Dead 2, because of that, is going to have to make it the first time playing Red Dead 2. It has to exceed what Red Dead 1 was.
Well, I'm going to it as a brand new cowboy game. I'm not thinking about
No, I know.
Red Dead 1 or anything like that. I'm legitimately just going in as a brand new cowboy game.
Yeah, and that's how I'm going. That's how, whenever I get my hands on it, that's how I'll go into it as. So, I mean, it's not even, to me, the nostalgia thing isn't the problem that I'll end up having with it. I just know that that's a problem a lot of people end up having with things, based on just reactions of all different series.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing with it, it always gets back down to the realism part with me, where I'm seeing a lot of cool things within it, and it looks like a lot of fun, but it's like, okay, we're seeing snippets of what they want you to see, you know? It's like with travel guide kind of stuff, not any specific thing, just when you travel to, when you see photos of a place that you want to travel to, vacation areas and all that kind of stuff, when you're looking at this, they're showing you the pictures that you want to see, the ones that make you want to go there, you know?
I get it.
At the end, I mean, that's, I guess it's cynical, but it's at the end of the day, Rockstar's a business, and it's a company, and they want you to buy their game. And it's a very cynical way of looking at it. That,
like, aren't you a Debbie Downer today, Fox?
Nah, but so it's like, I want to know. I mean, obviously I'll figure it out once we finally play the game. But it's like, for me, my biggest worry is, okay, all the stuff that you're showing me is really cool, and I'm hearing that it's going to be really alive and interactive in its own way. But at the same time, is any of that realism going to take away from the overall fun of the game? Is it going to be a chore to take care of the campsite and your people? Is it going to be a chore to, you know, do all that stuff? Or is it going to be the opposite end of it, which is what I'm hoping for, where it's not a chore to take care of your camp or your horse. It's, you know, it's fun, it's interactive, it's never like, oh, why do I have to continue doing this, you know? Like with the horse thing, your horse dies permanently if it dies, so it's like,
I wonder how many horses you're going to go through.
I never went through that many at the first one. It wasn't my fault. But
how many horses did I go through that day?
Probably 2 or 3.
2. The first one, and then the rest one I had the rest of the game. But that was because of like a coup or something. I don't remember the circumstances, but that's besides the point.
But like, is that part of it, like, because your horse dies permanently, which I think your original horses died permanently, so it's not the dying permanently part about it. It's like, okay,
it's the bond.
It's the bond part. It's like, okay,
so you spend all this time with this horse building up a bond, and then that horse dies, and then
like, how long
this one throws you off and you die.
No, not even like what the other horses are at. It's just, is it going to take a long time to build a second bond with the horse if your original horse dies? Is it going to be...
Horses now let you abuse them, sometimes.
Yeah. Is it going to be...
I heard you abused my cousin.
Yeah, like Roach from Witcher 3.
That's what I'm gonna get. He goes to shoot and the horse throws you off and then you fall on the ground.
But is it going to be a chore to, you know, build up the bond if you go through a lot of horses, which I hopefully won't have to? Is it going to be a chore to, like...
Well, if you take care of your horses like you take care of your cars in video games, we should all be afraid.
That's probably true, but...
Half the population of horses is gone!
But is it going to be a chore to, you know, take care of...
There's one in a tree, there's one drowning in a river.
Is it going to be a chore to, you know, keep your camp or your crew happy, and or is it going to be fun? And I want it to be fun, and I think that it probably will be fun. It's just that worry is still there with me. It's like, are they going to make it so real that, it, like, I hate to have to use an example just because I feel like it makes, like I'm shitting on something when I'm not intentionally trying to, but Fallout 4, the settlements, and
I haven't even tried that yet.
Yeah, you haven't tried it yet, but it's like, I mean, when I went through, I started out like, oh my god, this is amazing, I can, you know, build my settlements and all this stuff, but then it's like, it became this chore, and it's like, you're constantly having to go back and fix shit, or because it gets attacked, or it's going to get attacked, so you have to go back there, and you have to divert from, what to me what the fun is, which is exploring and finding all these new locations, and you have to make sure that they have the food. Also, you're getting caution signs for no reason, even though nothing's going wrong there. It's like it became such a chore that it got to the point where I had to stop playing it because it's like, okay, I just need to take a break from this because it's not fun anymore, and I just need to, once I start playing it again, not do those things and we're just focus on all the stuff that makes it fun. But that's my where, and with Red Dead 2, it's like I want it to be fun. I want it to be this really live and in-depth thing, but at the same time, is it going to hit that moment of, oh my god, I have to go back and deal with this, and I was having so much fun doing everything out here, but now I'm constantly having to go back, and it's not fun. I don't want that to happen with Red Dead 2. If it happened with Grand Theft Auto, I would get over it. But with Red Dead 2, because of how awesome because cowboy games are like rare as hell. It's like pirate games. You get one in lifetime.
You get one every 10 to 20 years, so you play the hell out of the one.
Yeah. So that's why I want Red Dead 2 to be. Because I'm really hopeful for Red Dead 2. And I know it sounds like I'm completely down on it, but I'm really hopeful and I'm looking forward to it a lot.
You just have concerns.
Yeah, it's just I don't want it to be so real that it's not fun. Because L.A. Noire, overall it was a good game, but the realism to it became a drag. And once it becomes not fun anymore, it's like, why the hell are we playing it,
I think I went through that game twice.
I watched you go through it, and I refused to touch it after that, because I had to hear you complain about it.
No, my biggest problem was, I think it was I honestly, I don't remember what the hell the problem was with it anymore. I just remember it was either too slow for me, or,
I remember you liked the final ending chapters, but you were no longer Phelps when that stuff happened. You were the one.
I think that was the problem with it, is I didn't like Phelps. I was going through it in my head trying to think about it, and I think my biggest problem with the game is I couldn't stand Phelps. He was just too goody two-shoe for me, and a hypocrite in the same breath, and it just drove me up the wall.
Yeah. So that's my biggest...
And then I always forgot you had a shotgun in the car, so I played the entire fucking game with a pistol only. The first time. Second time, we remembered.
Went to the trunk every time. Yeah, that's just...
He's on the run. I need the shotgun. He's getting away. I need the shotgun.
Yeah, that's just my word with it. I think it's gonna.
I have none of those concerns with Red Dead Redemption 2. I understand.
It's pretty well established that I'm the worry word of the two of us.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's just who you are.
Yeah.
But my biggest complaint with Grand Theft Auto 5 was Okay, let me restate that. My favorite thing about Grand Theft Auto 5 was playing as Franklin. I loved playing as Franklin because he had his head straight, he was trying to do something with his life, and then you have Michael, who's pretty much gave up on his life.
Yeah.
I hated Michael's kids. I hated playing as Michael, but the thing is, I liked Franklin's friends. Lamar was a crazy idiot, and I was okay with that. I liked Lamar. Lamar was a sunshine to me. He would get Franklin in trouble, but you have those type of friends. So I really liked Franklin's story and Lamar's story. I couldn't stand Michael, and Trevor was I couldn't care less about Trevor. Trevor could have been thrown off a bridge, and it wouldn't have made any difference.
You had a few moments that were funny.
Yeah, there was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And then Michael to me was just an irritant. I mean, he just whined and bitched and complained about everything. But Franklin to me was fun. He had life in him. Yeah. And then there was the other two midlife crisis idiots. And so, I mean, that kind of bummed me out, but overall, I still had a lot of fun with the game. It drove me crazy when I was going for the achievements, but I still had a lot of fun with it. But then you go back to Red Dead 1, there's not one bad thing I had to say about that game.
Jack.
Okay, there was one bad thing I had to say about that game, and it was Jack.
It wasn't Jack's fault.
It wasn't Jack's fault. It's just I really liked playing John, and the thing is, I really liked getting the revenge as Jack. I mean, I had to shoot the whatever the guy's name was.
That short tubby fuck.
Yeah, it was a stupid hat. I had to shoot him over 20 times, and then just threw dynamite and Molotov on him just to make sure there was nothing left. I think I killed his family too, his wife, just to prove a point. But That was just the revenge part of me. It's like, you killed my father.
My mother died.
Yeah, your family's dying. My mother probably died of grief. Your whole entire family's gone. I'm just informing you.
Yeah, Jack was. It wasn't Jack's fault.
I think I walked out of the house and just tossed shit through the door. There was only one way out.
It wasn't Jack's fault that.
No, I just couldn't stand his voice.
It wasn't Jack's fault that I didn't like him and that you didn't like him. It was just that we loved John.
I loved John's character so much, and then when that ending happened, I mean, that was devastating. And then I remember the first time you played it. I mean,
I thought I got like the wrong ending or something, so I exited out.
Yeah. And the second time, I'm like, well, let's just see what happens. And then we play as Jack. We're like, no, it's story based.
Yeah, I was so upset. I was upset with myself at first because I thought I fucked up.
Did I not shoot them all?
Yeah, basically. And then I found out that it was story based, that John had to die. But
yeah. But I mean, other than that, I mean, everything else about the first one rocks. So I mean, going into the second one, I mean, I have no concerns because one, we already know John's fate, so I'm gonna be sitting there enjoying John while he's around, thinking, I am so sorry, dude. I wish I could give you a sign.
Wish I could stop this from happening.
Yeah, I wish I could change what you do. But I'm not worried about the game at all.
I'm more hopeful than I am worried about it, but those worries are there for me. Where it's just
you're just worried, like you said. I mean, you're worried it to be like how Fallout 4 was when you had to take care of the settlements and everything.
I don't want the game to be a chore. I don't want it to not be fun because they made it as real as they could. I want it to be as fun.
You don't want it to be like a Wild West simulator.
Yeah, I don't want it to be like, here, live your life in the Wild West, make sure you're eating, make sure you're drinking. Not that that's what they're doing with it, I'm just saying.
The concept.
The concept of it where it's like, yes, you're in the Wild West, but no, you're not going to have any fun. It's going to be a chore the entire way through this, you know?
I doubt it's going to be like that.
I doubt it's going to be that way too, but I feel like I hope that there is no moments like that at all, but I worry that the horse or the camp with the people or some portion of it is going to be a chore to get through because of how real that they're trying to aim for. That's why I was okay with not having like a bond thing with Roach in Witcher 3 is because Geralt had a bond with Roach through dialogue stuff sometimes with comments and everything, so you didn't really have to. Your bond with Roach was always there just because Roach was always there, but it was never, spend time grooming Roach. That way you can, build a bond while there's so much other cool shit that you could be doing instead of doing grooming horse, I'm hopeful for it, but I'm worried at the same time that they're going too real.
I get it. But that's why Ty is concerned about Red Dead Redemption 2's realism. I don't have those concerns. I get your concerns, I do, but I don't. I think you're overthinking it. I think
that's my problem anyway.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, but I don't think it's going to be that way. So I mean, obviously we'll wait and see when it comes out.
October 26th, I think it comes out.
Oh wow, it's next month.
I think so.
I did not know that. I
know that Red Dead Online's beta comes out in November. Red Dead's game.
Well, in that aspect, I'm happy then, because to me, any story-based game like that, the multiplayer.
Story mode's offline.
Oh, that's
it's like GTA with online is a separate entity.
Well, that's good.
Which I'm happy about.
But the thing is, that makes me happy though, because to me, a story. I like when games that aren't multiplayer put multiplayer in it. I mean, you look at games like Mass Effect and Dragon Age that didn't have multiplayer and then put it in.
Was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Or we had fun in it.
Final Fantasy, Arkham Origins. But to me, the story needs to come first. I think Final Fantasy 15 did it the best, where they focus on the story and everything, and then months later, here's the online portion.
Granted, we've never really been able to get into many matches.
That's not my point. That's not the point I'm making. The concept of it is focus on the story and then do the multiplayer. So I'm happy that they're doing that.
And it's just the beta that's coming out, so obviously they have to come out with the full version later on.
Probably won't come out till next year then.
Probably not, but I'm happy with that as long as they're focusing on the story mode and then,
I really hope there'll be some story DLC. Obviously we don't know how, what's the character's name again?
Arthur.
We don't know how Arthur's story is going to end.
Maybe we'll play as John at the end of it.
That would be a twist. But remember, John leaves.
And you could still play as him.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Arthur leaves too and dies saving John.
That'd be something.
Or he spares John.
Regardless, the point. I don't remember the point I was making anymore.
Happy that online is.
Oh yeah, so I'm happy that they're focusing on online later.
And if they, as long as they learn from GTA Online.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. I hope there's gonna be story DLC.
Oh yeah.
As long as Arthur lives, I hope there's. That was one thing I was upset about because I wanted more story revolving Franklin and Michael and them, because finally at the end of the game I was like, okay, I'm okay with everyone now. So I wanted more, but obviously then Grand Theft Auto Online blew up as it did, which was amazing, obviously.
For them.
So, yeah, for them. So I'm really hoping that Red Dead has some story stuff.
I hope nobody fucks up their multiplayer again.
Like they did with Undead Nightmare.
Yeah, that's such a dick move.
Yeah.
Because it was such a fun multiplayer, and then they screwed it up, or the players screwed it up. But with Red Dead Online, I think I saw that they're doing like a GTA Online thing where there's like story-based mission kind of things.
Well, that makes me happy. I love
but
that.
I hope that they learn from GTA Online in that the first few hours, I guess, maybe I would say, of GTA Online was really frustrating. Because you start with like nothing. I mean, you start with nothing because I mean that's progression-wise, but it was definitely when you come into it later, it was frustrating. So I'm hoping that with Red Dead Online that they learn from that stuff and they make it so that you can do it and have a lot more fun. Because I prefer Red Dead Online over Grand Theft Auto's Online. I thought Red Dead Online was a lot of fun in comparison.
And just remember, everybody, blue are your allies, red are your enemies. So those are Ty's concerns at Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't share those. I understand your concerns, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as you think it's going to be. I know you're being hopeful about it, but I just think you're overthinking it. That's the only reason why I was saying I don't think it's going to be this chore of I don't want to go back to camp again, or I don't want to groom the stupid horse again. Whatever the case may be, I'm looking forward to it, and I know you're looking forward to it.
I don't want to shave my fucking beard again. I should do that enough in real life.
Amen to that one. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you headbutt the like button. Make sure you subscribe to our channel for more video game content. And leave a comment down below and let us know what video game you want to see us cover next. So this is Nerdygymbros, signing off.